months. Your long-term goals are like 3 months longer.
Okay.
You know, sometimes your long-term goals can be a lifetime. Sometimes your short-term goals could be a day. And when we know your short-term goals, we're going to list and prioritize them. So, like, let's say one of your goals is to find a roommate. That's your number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
That would be number one. Your number two priority could be, um, just finding economic resources to help you out with your situation. That could be number two. And number three is working on attendance and grades. That's basically what it is. It's not no psychiatrist, shrink, trying to get your life right type. Well, it isn't your life right, but trying to meddle in your life and pick at your brain. It's just like you tell me what you want, and us making a plan together to get you to where you want.
Okay. Well, I kind of like what you said as far as the goals and the steps is pretty much similar to what I would say, and also as far as like the priority with it.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason I do this also is because short-term goals can bleed into long-term goals.
Okay.
So let's say your short-term goals to attend class more, and your long-term goals to graduate. That will lead into you graduating.
Okay.
So they correlate. So all right, I want you to give me, to make this manageable, 3 short-term goals.
Short-term goal number one would be to attend class.
Mm-hmm.
For two, I would say complete assignments on time. And then for my third short-term goal, I would have to say trying to find a roommate.
Okay. And for your long-term goals?
Graduation, so to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to build my confidence with myself.
Oh, wow. I did not know that you felt that way about yourself. Like, in terms of build confidence, how do you view yourself?
Now I'm viewing myself more as a failure because I feel like I'm letting my family down, and more so my father, because like I was telling you earlier, he comes from a military background, so he expects a lot from us. It was either go to school or go into the military. It wasn't anything in between. Like your work would be working in the military, or your work would be considered education at school. So it's nothing that falls in between with him. And I feel like with my grades slipping, I'm letting him down a lot. I'm starting to lie a lot. He'll call and he's like, "Hey, how's classes and how's school?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was great," but I sat at home all day, didn't even attempt to go to class.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand that. Like, I can totally relate to you on that level because, like I mentioned, I came from a strict military background, so it was either you work after high school, go to school, or go straight to the military. There was no way, there's no leniency in the situation. And, I will always feel guilty when I will have fun as a college student, like go to a party. I'm like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be studying, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that. And, it just, even I'm supposed to be out there having fun, I'm look like I'm having fun, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, what will my dad think? What will my mom think? And, like, I totally do understand that. And I can totally understand how that can affect your confidence because every day that you let yourself go and you do things that make you happy, you feel like you're failing yourself and your parents in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I understand you want this to be a long term goal, but we can move that to your short term goals.
Okay.
Because if you build your confidence now, it could lead you to the graduation. It could lead you to whatever other long term goal that you want. So we're going to place that as your fourth short term goal. All right. So what's your third long term?
I haven't really thought about long-term goals other than graduation. Do you have any suggestions, maybe?
Mm, what do you think you want what kind of GPA would you like to have for graduation?
I would love to have a 4.0, but
Right.
being realistic, coming from a 2.4, I would say maybe a 2.9.
Okay, let's shoot for a 3.0.
3, okay.
You're like 0.6 points away from a 3.0, so. You know. All right, 3.0 and above. That's realistic. And with the 3.0, you know, that's kind of like automatic admission into grad school if you want to go to grad school. Have you thought about grad school?
I have. I actually been talking to someone at the school that I want to go to, which is Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. So I want to go there, and they have like a mentor program where you can have like a mentor to just answer any questions. And she was just saying how your GPA, like you just said, has to be at least 3.0 and above, and it's a lot of work. So I know that I have to get motivated, especially if I'm trying to graduate undergrad and go into grad school.
Yeah, because grad school, if you have an interest in social work or you're thinking about changing, social work grad school is really, really, really tough. It really is. And especially admission into MSW programs is really tough. You have to meet a certain standard, and they want that standard all across the board. Hold up, let me see if I can edit that out. Mark 20 minutes. Okay, cool. And we're back. All right, so you know MSW grad school standards is like, you know, pretty hard, but you know, you can do it. I see it in you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope so.
All right, so with your short-term goals, we have about 4 since we moved build confidence over into your short-term goals.
Okay.
So let's rank them from your first priority to your last priority.
Okay. I would definitely say confidence, building my confidence.
Will be number 1.
Number 1.
Okay. Number 2.
Attending class.
3.
Completing assignments.
All right. And number 4.
And finding a roommate.
Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So why I asked you to do that is because, you know, rank them and prioritize them is because I know you hate this word, and almost everybody in your age group who's in school hates this word. But I have little homework assignments that you will have to do.
Okay.
It's not you bring back a 9-page reflective paper about, you know, the poem for colored girls to help you build your confidence as a black woman. It's not that. It's just basically, you know, it's just little things like one client, I had them make a vision board, and it's easy to create a vision board. Just get a magazine. You know, they throw out magazines in the library all the time, and just get a magazine. And if you think Beyonce is the embodiment of what you will want to be, not to say all this stuff off Beyonce, but like, let's say your idea of success is attaining the wealth and status as Beyonce, you put a Beyonce on your vision board, and you can make it as elaborate or as simple as you want.
Okay.
But as long as it has meaning to you, and that's what I did with one of my clients.
Okay.
Sounds manageable?
Yes. Sounds interesting and fun, actually.
And
I wish professors gave work like that instead.
I wish they did. Like, unless you're an art major, you're practically in books and on your laptop all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also what I do is we highlight the steps, and I ask you the question, what is it that you think you need to do in order to meet this goal?
Okay.
So what's your first one? Building confidence, right?
Yes.
What is it that you think you need to do to build your confidence?
I think I need to understand that I'm here for me versus my family, specifically my father. And
Okay.
know that it's okay to not be scared to tell him, you know, hey Dad, I'm going through hard times right now.
All right. Anything else?
That's pretty much it for the confidence piece.
Okay. Understand that you're in school for yourself versus your family. Okay. Well, if you were to tell your dad right now that your GPA is a 2.4, you've been missing class, and your grades are no higher than a C, like, how do you think your father would react?
Probably act like I'm one of his Marine friends.
Mm.
Yeah. He would be really unhappy, very upset with me. He might verbally put me down. He won't physically hit me or anything, but he will allow me to hear his wrath.
Allow you to hear his wrath.
And there's nothing I can do about
it. Okay. So you feel like this will, emotionally devastate your father if you hear you acting like, you doing what you do.
I know it will.
Okay. Well, parents, like I tell you, Will Smith said it best. Parents just don't understand. Parents do not understand, a lot of things people in their teens, 20s, sometimes in their early 30s go through. Because this is a time of us figuring ourselves out. And like you said, you just got out of a pretty long-term relationship, 6 to 7 months that you invested your whole life in. And, something like that is very emotionally devastating. And, the main thing we do have to, in order to work with your father is get him to take that into consideration.
Okay.
That right now, mentally, emotionally, you are not at your best right now, and that you need a support system. And you said that he is a support system, but if you do something that is against your father's wishes, that's when he turns into the vengeful, wrathful, type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we understand how your father will react. We understand, the steps that you need to take. So, in an average everyday scenario, like with your father, let's say, let's rehearse how would you approach your dad, because I feel like that in order for you to solve your issue with your father is you have to talk to him, be confident enough to talk to him and let him know this is how you feel. It is not about talking about your grades, but it's basically how you're talking to me, like, you have to do this for you. I'm in school for me, not for you, Dad.
Right.
And that's a hard thing for kids to say to their parents because they spend their whole lives trying to make their parents happy. And, I still spend my whole life trying to make my parents happy. I'll go to home for Thanksgiving and I'm doing everything in the house just to make them happy. We as human beings, we crave to make a parental figure or guardian as happy as possible because we understand what it's like for them to raise us. So let's kind of rehearse how you would approach me, like, not to say that I'm your daddy, but, just imagine me as the role of your father and you coming up to me, and how would you talk to him?
Oh. Hey, Dad.
Hi. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You're okay? All right.
He would then say, what is okay? It's either you're great or you're not.
All right.
So, I'm not so great.
Why is it that you're not so great?
Because me and Kevin, we recently broke up, and that's when he will
I told you so. You shouldn't have moved in with him. He was no good for me from the beginning. I saw it as soon as he walked through his door, and you made him beat him. Made me beat him. I knew it.
Sure we're not related? You sound just like him.
Oh.
All the stuff he would say.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just because my dad says the same things. Don't worry.
Okay. So, yeah, after he go on his tangent and he's basically just letting me know that he was right and I was wrong again, I would just, try to let him know, I know I made a mistake, but I broke up with him for a good reason. He wasn't supportive of my education. And I just felt that I'm, at school for a reason. My reason is to learn, to graduate, and to expand my knowledge, to pass it on to someone else who may need it.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't understand that, so that's why I broke up with him. But from in turn, me breaking up with him, it left me with the place that we got together. I now have to pay for that, and that's why I'm not doing good.
Okay, so a slew of I told you so's, you shouldn't have got with them. The whole 9 yards, the whole little parent spiel. All right, I see you beat around the bush a lot, but you didn't get to your grades, which will affect your father more.
Yes.
So, you basically solved your problem right here about talking to him about the boyfriend. like